Okay, Coach, well, the folks here, they are bundled up, but they're ready for football as you get a look at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel, and they're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Baltimore Ravens. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16.
We got this. Mike Popo. Are you getting hit? Are you getting hit? He's checked.
They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram, and he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage with a penalty flag down. This might push him back further.
Good job, D. Good job.
Now, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Coming this way, coming this way. Here we go, here we go. Go.
From the gun, Jackson. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there and a first down. Nice throw there by Jackson. You think about what a boost he gave Baltimore the middle of last year, led them to victories in 6 of their last 7 games as a starter, replacing Joe Flacco, who had the hip issue. And that strong finish was good enough for the Ravens to capture their first AFC North crown since 2012. And now Jackson's a known commodity. He's the unquestioned starter, and with increased expectations and pressure on the former Heisman Trophy winner. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Jackson now. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Myles Garrett, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
53 is the mark. 53. Check 53. I got you.
Here's Jackson. And the pressure gets to him again. Sheldon Richardson, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
We play to win. Left.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. Mayfield to throw it. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
Yeah, I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's in.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Randy Gregory in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. On 4th down, the Browns hand things over to the veteran Britton Colquitt to punt. Cyrus Jones back to return for the Ravens. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Here we go.
Jackson going to get this out to Brown. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. And that will be incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing, Mayfield. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the third time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10.
Let's bring it. Check, check. Lucky, lucky, lucky.
Mayfield down. They set up the screen to Chubb. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the first down. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether it's seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
That's going to be a long day.
Brown with his stick skills. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back.
On the double. 44. Mike, 44. Man, that's trash. Go, go. Check 52. Check.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On 2nd down, Ingram. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram, he goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield, although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. On 3rd and 1, Jackson. He is going to find Hill here. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They run from the pistol with Ingram. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 12 yards to pick up there, good for a Raven first.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. First red zone chance now for the Ravens. 1st and 10 right at the 20. They'll go with Hill here on 1st down. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Keep playing hard.
After the penalty, it's Ingram. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
1 sec. 53 is the mark. Hey, that's good. That's good. No. 25. Check 25. Check 25.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson. And an alley to run. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Pretty nice gain on the scramble. Gets him 12 yards.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
They're not ready for this. Y'all playing the wrong football. Hey, switch gears.
Jackson, option right. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
And that is going to be no good. He pushed it wide to the right, and this will remain a scoreless game. Boy, you sure don't see that too often.
I guess you can't really call anything a gimme, but you figure with his track record, that's a sure thing. But it turns out it's not the case.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Mayfield looks to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jarvis Landry, 78 yards, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. The game had been pretty uneventful offensively until that big strike.
No doubt about it. Almost felt like they were just going back and forth a little bit in the first quarter. But in the second quarter, things ramped up a little bit. Things jumped up. And you're exactly right. Going to make a highlight film or two. We'll be watching that one later on today.
Joseph now to kick this one away.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you're supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Let's go, team. Go. It's going to be a long day. Check 13. Check 13.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Jackson. It's caught by Mark Ingram. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
It's a nice job hitting him on the angle route there. Come out of the backfield, cutting sharply across the middle. And that's good timing between the quarterback and his receiver.
Effective 3rd down play to move the chains.
Check 26, check 25.
Jackson options out left. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it. And while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball. Come on. 57's Mike.
From the 44, Jackson sliding out of the pocket. And his throw is incomplete. Marquise Brown, the rookie, his intended target. And it's 3rd and short. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now it's Jackson, flushed out right. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. Taking matters into his own hands, and he picks up 4 yards and a first down.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down now. I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play. Kill, kill, kill. Kill, kill.
This is Hill on the draw play. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game.
You got it. Yeah, baby, boom.
A A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And some room to roam now. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 16 yards, a first down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. This is Ingram, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
On 2nd and 11 now, Jackson. And that is intercepted by the Pro Bowl cornerback Denzel Ward. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time, we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw, Mayfield. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. But now it'll be 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Now after the run by Hunt, here's 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Mayfield is going to fire one deep over the middle into a double team, and it's intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 4-yard line.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we've reached halftime with just the lone touchdown here. 7-0 is our score. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns drive about to get started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step.
Throwing on second and long. Mayfield. That's taken in by Callaway. And he's able to get out to the 32. Brought down there. A good pickup there. 18 yards as they get closer for third down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Mike's 47. Mike's 47. Watch the run. Watch the run.
Third and short yardage. Mayfield. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Landry. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Mayfield gives this one to Hunt. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
King. Hey, Foxtrot.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Mayfield now rebounding nicely after the interception. He's hit 4 straight to start the drive. It's first down. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Throwing on 2nd and 8, Mayfield. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
You must be dreaming. 44 is the mic. 44 is the mic. Hey, watch the slant. 44 is the mic. 44 is mic.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Jackson flush to his right. Now he'll pull it down. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Now how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
I'm going to run you over. 53 is the mic.
Jackson from the shotgun. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. It doesn't matter where you start with the football now. They have to feel great about their opportunity.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 15-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Mayfield. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
47's the mic. 47.
Here's Mayfield. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Michael Pierce in all of his 340-pound glory gets the sack. Here's Britton Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here's Jones on the return. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Around the NFL, third quarter at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses.
Switch.
They'll try to get the ground game going with Ingram. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. So that one will be accepted.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if...
Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Eric Murray. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more...
Pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
They'll run with Hunt on second down. It's a 6-yard pickup to get them back to the original line of scrimmage with third down coming up. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
They're going to look to throw. He finds Beckham complete. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. Mayfield now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. That's going to be caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Antonio Callaway with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 21-0. Joseph now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. 85 catches for him on the year now, and the result there is a first down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
A gain of 3, second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Hey, man. Watch the boot. Watch the boot. That's
Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Brought down that time by Christian Kirksey.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Jackson looking to throw on third. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 47. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets them to 3rd and 3 now.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mayfield. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The tight end, David Njoku, the intended receiver. 3rd down here.
3rd down and 8 yards to go.
Set. 180. Mike's 47. Hurt. Watch the twist. Kill.
Mayfield to throw it. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
Let's go.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Let's go, D.
And again, it's Chubb. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. On the tackle, it's Randy Gregory.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. The Browns on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Mayfield. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step one. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still a 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll start out here with a jet sweep, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 19-yard line.
53's the mic. 53.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Now Jackson. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held a team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
57's the mic.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete. The Ravens go for it but come up empty. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
Right here. Watch tight end. Tight right.
They'll run on 1st down. Hunt. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
16-yard line.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And once again, they stop him behind the line. Great job by this Ravens defense. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a third down.
Mark, 180. 47. We own them. We own them.
They run it again with Chubb. Oh, Chubb fumbled it, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 16 yards, a first down.
A gain of 16 yards. First down, Ravens.
Set, go.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Greedy Williams, the rookie out of LSU, there to knock it away. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter, and find their way open.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. And he's going to be met behind the line of scrimmage and taken down. And a penalty flag is going to come out on top of it.
Okay, baby, I see you.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Jackson going to get this out to Brown. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. Jackson eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Jackson always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago. One last shot for Jackson. And an alley to run. The ball comes out, and this will go out of bounds, so no recovery, and that is how this one will come to an end. So Cleveland able to come away